right, as always, I have to jump in front of the camera. Hi, everybody. This is Ed Diaz with Opus Advisors, and I am really tickled pink to be here today because we are here with a special guest who's been a financial advisor for many, many years. I will tell you that that man right there has forgotten more than I'll ever know. And I know he laughs, but it's absolutely the truth. So we are here with Roger Gaynor of Gaynor Financial. Thank you so much, Roger,
It's my
for
pleasure, man.
giving us the time. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is, a lot of things have happened, not just with the stock market, but with the economy. It's decimated a lot of people, not just on the real estate side, but also on the retirement side. So one of the things that I wanted to do for our viewers is really educate them on, and just give the basics on maybe some 3 things that they can do, whether they took a major hit with their retirement accounts or they haven't even started yet and they're maybe afraid of the markets, and maybe 3 different things that you recommend that a person do, whether, again, they either lost everything in the stock market or they're just starting. What would you tell?
Well, the first thing is to pay attention. Okay, so many folks back in the upheaval of 2008, or earlier if we dial back to 2001, 2002 and the market correction there, they didn't open their statements. So they didn't react to what was happening out there. Markets will go up and down. Now, if you're saving in an employer plan like a 401k, I do recommend that you always contribute up at least to get your employer's match.
So start and max that out first before
Max the
looking at
match.
it? Okay.
Okay.
Max the match. I like that. Sounds
Max
like
the
a-
match. Don't go past the match until some other things are in place. Make sure you have enough cash on hand. You don't want to be forced to sell, to take a loan against your 401k, and if there's an emergency. And a lot of people don't have enough cash available to them. So build up in the bank 3 to 6 months worth of really liquid cash. There are some other strategies that we'll talk about in the future to make that cash work a little bit harder. So you don't have to have so much in the bank, but really a lot of people lost their homes and a great deal of money in stock portfolios because they didn't have enough cash to weather the storm. So they lose a job and I can't pay the mortgage, and now it snowballs out of control. So make sure you have that 3 to 6 months worth of cash in the bank that you can readily get your hands on. Save regularly, especially if your employer sponsors a 401k. Make sure you get it up to the match. And lastly, pay attention. Time is your friend as long as you can sidestep the losses. Warren Buffett, you've heard of Warren Buffett, right?
I've heard of him, I think, once or twice.
Yeah, he's one of my heroes. He has 2 rules of investing.
One of mine, too.
Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, don't ever forget rule number 1.
2 great rules. You
2
guys heard
great
that?
rules. So, and the only way you can do that is once every month, or at the very least once a quarter. If you're in the stock market, and even if it's mutual funds, there's a misconception that mutual funds are really, really safe. They're safer because you have professional management, but there are restrictions on what those managers can do, and you have to manage the manager. Because remember, at the end of the day, it's your money.
That's
Stay
really
involved.
good advice because, back when I was doing financial advisement, nobody really told me that. I used to think, well, they pay these guys just a ton of money, right? I don't have to really worry about them, and believe me, you do. So when he says manage the managers, it's absolutely true. You do have to pay attention because after all, who's going to take better care of you than you? You have to mind your own money, if you will. All right, so thank you so much,
My
Roger.
pleasure.
And we're going to be doing more of these with Roger because I want to make him a regular because he has such a wealth of information. So we're going to stay tuned to some other videos because we're going to get into some detail on some more strategies that are more specific to specific situations. So thanks again.